Hey, how's it going, people of the internet? My name's Rob. Today I'm going to show you how to replace the tire on a lawnmower. The front tire on my riding lawnmower, one of the treads separated. It's a pretty bad leak. I got it patched up and used it for a few days, but it's just not holding air, so I'm going to show you how to replace it. It's pretty simple, but we'll go through it step by step. So the first thing you're going to want to do is remove this cap. Very simple. All you do is pull. Comes right off, and then you'll want to get a set of needle nose and possibly a flathead screwdriver and remove this cotter pin. All you have to do is bend this to where it's straight and pull on this side and it'll pop right out. Now I'm not going to show you how to do that part because that's my good tire. I've already got the cotter pin out on the other side, but once you get it out, it should look like this here, and all you have to do after that is slide the wheel and tire off in one piece. Comes right off. So the next part's the tricky part, which is getting the tire separated from the rim. And all you have to do is take the cap off your valve stem. There's a little needle in there. You can stick a screwdriver in there and bleed the air out if there is any. Just like that. And once you get enough air out, for one of these tires it's pretty simple. You just have to press on the bead here to get it to separate from the rim. And you should hear it if there's any air left, just like that. So now you can see the tire separated from the rim. Now you will have to separate both sides of the tire from the rim. And when you get that done, you can take a pry bar like I have here and stick it down in there. You're going to have to pry the tire over the rim. I'm going to set this camera down because it's going to be hard to do with one hand. Now once you get it started, you're going to have to go around the entire rim. Just work your way around, prying it off slowly. And keep another one in the spots that you've already done so they don't go back around the rim. Now once you get to a certain point, you can basically just pull the rim through the tire there, and you want it all the way through. So you're going to have to flip it over, and you're going to have to pull it through the other side. Now the same concept applies for getting the rim through the other side. You're going to have to start prying, and then stick a second pry bar or something through there to hold your progress. You have to pry all the way around, and once you get to a certain point, it's easy enough just to pull the tire off, because it's just a little lawnmower tire. And then after you get the rim out, just go grab your other tire. Okay, now that you've got your new tire, the next step is to get it onto the rim. So you just place it here like this with the rim is kind of sticking through. And all you've got to do is push it. Obviously I'm not going to be able to do it one-handed, but you just push it over the rim, and when you get that entire side of the tire over, you just get the next side, this side here, over the same lip. And it might help to wet the bead a little bit. It might also help with you getting the bead seated once you start putting air in it. So I'll go ahead and get the tire on there now, and then we'll air it up. So I figured I'd go ahead and film the last bit for you. As you can see, I'm having to hold the tire down with my knees. And then I've got a smaller pry bar right here where I started, holding my progress. I've got it all the way done around except for this last little bit. So you'll need to use the same technique that you used to get it off with to get it back on. And trying to do this one-handed is a bit of a pain in the butt, but all you gotta do is get it under there and pry it over. And that's the last little bit there. So once you've got it all the way on, go ahead and get your pry bars out. You can see it's on this side and it's on this side. Go ahead and pick that grass out of there. And then all you got to do is air it up. If you do have problems getting the bead to seat, you just put some pressure on it this way to kind of blow the tire out. But when you start putting air in it, it should pop this tire right up against the rim here, and it'll seat itself and just fill it up to whatever PSI it says on the tire. So I would recommend lubing up the bead. Soapy water will work. That's what I had to do to get the bead to seat when I was airing it up. But as you can see, I've got it seated now. It's nice and tight against there. This tire calls for 14 PSI, so I'm going to go ahead and air it up, and I'll show you how to get it put back on. So now that we've got air put in the tire, all you're going to do is push it over this rod here. I'll put this brass piece on. Make sure you keep the hole open for your cotter pin. We'll get the cotter pin put back in. Okay, so once you've got the cotter pin in, you'll just take your needle nose and you'll have to bend the ends here. This one's pretty stout, so I don't know if I'll be able to do it with one hand or not. And you can bend them the same direction or opposite directions. It doesn't really matter as long as it is secure in there and you don't have it hung up on anything else. You're just bending it so that cotter pin won't come back out. And that's it. Now obviously you might have a bit of a different setup. If your rim is mounted on with a nut, you'll just have to find the right size socket or wrench to take it off. But other than that, the concept's going to be the same as far as getting the tire off the rim, getting the new one put back on. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. If you were looking to learn how to put a tire on a rim, I hope this helped. Thank you. Have a nice day.